The moment of truth has arrived. Precious Asterites quake in your hands as you stand on the edge of destiny, forced to make an agonizing choice. If you can summon only one limited 5-star in WoW version 2.7, which one will seize your soul and claim your devotion? Guiwan or Galbrena? Because let's face it, in Wuthering Waves, Asterites aren't just currency. They're tiny little tokens of your soul painstakingly collected through weeks of grinding, maybe even a few poor life choices. Every pull is a sacred ritual and only one resonator can claim the spoils. In this video, we're breaking down exactly who deserves your Asterites and why it matters more than you think. Yo! Welcome back to the channel. Kamusta po sa inyong lahat? The big question here is, do you have enough Asterites to get your hands on Galbrena or Qiuyuan? If you're running low, Loot Bar has your back. Loot Bar is a safe, secure, and easy-to-use top-up site where you can do your own mobile top-ups without giving away your password. It's cheaper than in-game purchases, and it's offering up to 21% discounts in Wuthering Waves. Trusted by the community and backed by excellent reviews, Loot Bar makes sure your Asterites go further. And here's the kicker: if you use my link, you get an extra 10% on your purchase. So, do yourself a favor, save on your next top-up with Loot Bar. Because Guiwan, the slick crit salesman, winks at you with that buff you can't ignore: crit damage. The most intoxicating stat in existence practically drips off of him. His whispering, "Would you like bigger numbers?" And you poor mortal, you nod like a sheep hypnotized by spreadsheet seduction. But here's the thing, his crit buff is only 5% stronger than that of the Shorekeeper. 5%. However, while Guiwan only adds an extra 5% crit damage, getting it is much easier than the Shorekeeper. He only needs to reach 65% crit rate to convert anything over 50% to the max crit damage. And popping it only requires the casting of his Forte circuit. This means you don't need an exaggerated amount of energy regen to take full advantage of this buff. Guiwan is now obviously designed to be a sub-DPS type crit buffer and concerto energy filler with a unique energy regen requirement. This is beneficial because he reduces your dependence on the Shorekeeper, allowing her to team up somewhere else. In addition, Guiwan isn't a pushover. He deals way more damage than the Shorekeeper could ever dream. If you already own the Shorekeeper, Qiuyuan suddenly feels less like a godsend and more like a minor cosmetic upgrade, though his value is still substantial and worth considering for your Asterites. Galbrena, on the other hand, is the patient seductress. She doesn't scream numbers, she doesn't beg for attention, she storms onto your team as a pure main damage dealer, designed to dominate fights and outshine other DPS units. Need a lot of damage? Check. Need a unit that has transformations? Check. Need someone to stay on field to deliver more pain? Check. She's flashy, she's reliable, and she's destined to be a top-tier damage dealer capable of dethroning Carlotta as the game's premier pistol DPS. But, and there's always a but, her multipliers aren't breaking the game over her knee. She's solid, dependable, but not the fireworks show that makes your neighbors call the cops. The truth is, Galbrena doesn't really provide utility because she's selfish. She wants buffs for herself and only deals more damage once she begins her transformations. This makes her the ultimate instant gratifier. That hesitation is exactly why players pause. Do you really want to sacrifice your precious Asterites on something good when your heart knows Galbrena is destined to be a top-tier DPS capable of delivering insane damage and potentially dethroning Carlotta? This is where the ownership debate gets juicy. Guiwan owns your Asterites if you thrive on long-term value, spreadsheet, dopamine, and a unit that can relieve the shorekeeper. And his damage isn't laughable either, although don't expect him to deal over 120,000. Galbrena owns your Asterites if you're craving for high damage ceiling and larger damage windows. She's going to be flashy and a bit complex to use, but she will deal lots of damage. While both units benefit heavily from a buffer, each comes with unique requirements and optimal pairings. Ideally, Galbrena should be paired with Yuno and Guiwan. Yuno to enhance her heavy attacks and Guiwan to serve as a high damage crit buffer. This setup means the pressure to secure premium units is significantly higher for Galbrena than for Guiwan. That said, there are alternative setups. Mortifi can replace Yuno, while Shorekeeper or Verena can step in for Guiwan. Another powerful option is to replace both Verena and the Shorekeeper with Brand, who can deliver massive damage while synergizing with Mortifi to create a new Mono Fusion composition. Frulova, providing 25% heavy attack damage, can also replace Mortifi if your focus is more on heavy attack buffs, but don't have a strong man for the actual job itself. Meanwhile, Guiwan can primarily focus on supporting and buffing, making him an indispensable utility unit for various comps. If you want to push his potential to the max, he pairs exceptionally well with Johnshin and Yuno in a mono arrow composition, providing both energy regeneration and consistent crit buffs. He will likely slot alongside Yuno and potentially Augusta, Galbrena, or Chisa, though the exact meta combinations are still evolving. As a crit buffer, his versatility and broad applicability across different team setups coupled with relatively lower energy requirements ensure that he will likely have a longer shelf life and remain relevant far beyond most traditional DPS units. So, at the end of the day, pick the unit that best complements your team composition and fits your personal playstyle. Galbrena serves as a high damage DPS with flashy transformative skills, while Guiwan functions as a versatile sub-DPS and crit buffer, providing support and energy management. Both units bring unique strengths and exciting gameplay possibilities, and investing in either can help future-proof your account. The key is to choose based on what will maximize your enjoyment and enhance your overall strategy, ensuring that every battle feels rewarding and every asterite spent feels worthwhile. If this video resonated with you, please hit that like button for extra HP, subscribe for more crit rate, and slap that bell for additional crit damage. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you on the next video drop. Goodbye.